Hi, I'm Marshall. I'm the owner of Going Gear, and I'm here in our store in Smyrna, Georgia. And this is the Zero Tolerance 0095BW. All right, so here is the Zero Tolerance 0095BW. So there was a 0095 without the BW, but it was a Russian dealer exclusive, kind of hard to get here in the States, and it was a limited edition, so there are a very limited quantity of them made. Versus this one, this is a production item. They're going to keep on making it at least for a while. And you can get it. As of the time of this video, we had a decent amount of them in stock. Depending on when you watch this video, we may or may not have them in stock, but we should be getting them in again. So that's nice to see coming from the original one that was a limited edition. Kind of hard to get. All right, so anyway, it's got that black wash finish on it. That's what the BW means. Kind of a distressed look on it after they put a coating on it. Really cool look to it. Let's talk about the basic specifications of it. All right, so we've got S35VN steel on here. The handle is titanium. You got the black wash finish, so titanium on both sides with the black wash finish, and then the black wash on the blade, obviously, as well. The blade length is 3.6 inches. You've got a closed length of 4.9 inches, overall length of 8.4 inches, and it comes in at 5.3 ounces. So not super lightweight, but not too bad in terms of how it carries. It's definitely not a big chunker or anything like that. It's kind of in the middle. Let's take a closer look at some of the details of the knife. So there is the custom pivot hardware, has a pretty cool look to it. I really like the lines of this knife. So they kind of flow throughout the blade. Really cool look to it. Nice striking look. Nice striking design on the blade itself. Has the steel insert, since this is a titanium handle. Titanium is a relatively soft metal, so pretty much all the new Zero Tolerance knives, or all the ones that I've seen, they put a stainless steel lock insert in there. So that is stainless steel against stainless steel on the blade, and it wears a lot better. So you don't have the soft metal, the titanium wearing against the hard stainless steel. Holds up a lot better, and if you ever need to replace it, it's a lot easier to replace that little piece than this entire side. So nice little feature that they've got in there, and it also adds in another feature. You can see it adds in some over travel protection, so you can kind of hear it. I don't know. Let's see if we can make it click up against the microphone. So if you hear that little click, that is actually an over travel kind of hitting up against the side of the scale, keeping it from going too far, because titanium isn't the best metal for memory. You can bend it too far and make it where it doesn't bend back, and then your knife doesn't lock, and that's not cool. Nice pocket clip on here, so it's not deep carry. You're going to have a little bit of the knife sticking out. There are, of course, aftermarket options like there are for pretty much everything else, but it's a really nice clip. I kind of like having a little bit of knife sticking out. Makes it a little bit easier to grab, pull it out, and get it quickly deployed when you need it. So the 0095BW, obviously a flipper, and it's nice to see that Zero Tolerance does that on the majority of their knives. Actually, I can't think of any off the top of my head that are not flippers other than their fixed blades in terms of their new knives. And it's good because that's the majority of what we sell at Going Gear. I don't know what the other knife dealers have the majority of their sales going out as, but for us, it's definitely flippers. So it's nice to see that Zero Tolerance is answering that market demand and putting flippers on everything. And you've got the KVT ball bearings on pretty much everything as well. Either that or assisted opening, so you got nice smooth action. So this one does have the KVT ball bearing system, so it opens really, really well. Flies out, opens very easily. You can see you don't have to put any wrist action on it. I'm not moving my hand to flick it open. It just flies open very reliably, very easily. It's nice that Zero Tolerance puts the KVTs in there because it's a nice way to introduce people to flippers. Maybe a little bit on the high end for a first guy, or for a guy buying his first knife. I will definitely admit that. But they're really easy to use, and it's a nice experience for somebody that's getting their first nice knife. All right, we're going to kind of turn it around, show you the different parts of it. There you got the little back spacer in there. This is, I'm trying to think of the other knives that they released this year, but something they've been doing over the past couple of years is doing little pops of color. They did not do it on this one, so they wanted a kind of a very subdued, subtle look to this, and I like that. It's nice to see them doing different things instead of doing the same thing on every single knife, because you know, you got the pops of color on the 456 BW and the 220 and some of their other new knives, but this one, you just got that black wash all over, although I guess you can call that a little bit of pop of something different. So you got the kind of polished hardware there on the pivot. But for the most part, you got that black washed, subdued, dark metal look on this entire knife. And that's kind of nice to see. You know, some people like that. I definitely like that on some of my knives. So it's a good looking, definitely a good looking knife. Turn around, show you the different parts, show you the blade a little bit closer. Really like the shape to this. I know this probably doesn't really add a whole lot of a function, although maybe it's in lieu of jimping. It adds a little place for your thumb to rest. But man, it looks cool. So a lot of times that's as important as actual function to a lot of us. Is it just looks cool and it feels cool. So, and you know, you got the lines on there and you got that little bump. It's a cool look to it. I like it. You can reverse the pocket clip. It's not a 4-way pocket clip, so most of zero tolerance knives, or all the ones that I can think of these days, are meant for tip-up carry. So when you pull them out of your pocket, they're ready to go. You know, you kind of got them when you're pulling it out of your pocket. You know, you got it like this. You pull it out. It's kind of in the natural position for you to be able to open it. So you can flip it around if you want to. You can flip it to the other side. It comes from the factory on the lock bar side, but you can put it on the other side if you want to. I suppose you'd have to tap some holes up here if you really wanted to put it up there. I'm not going to recommend that unless you know what you're doing, but I guess that is an option. But you do have the reversible option if you want to do that. All right, so there you go. That is the Zero Tolerance 0095BW. If you like it, you can buy it from us at goinggear.com. Any questions or comments, you can reach me in the comments or any of my guys at goinggear.com. And that's it. Thanks for watching.